an expectation here. No Nautilus to pair up with this time around. They could just leave that pairing till a little bit later on, and that's exactly what they're going to do as they give Fisher an Orianna game.
Also, side note as well, as we see that center, LPL has been playing more center Tarn than the rest of the world. I think NA is one to follow second, closely behind, but right now, really favoring that bot side. And with Varus Ashe already, maybe it's just going to be the scaling and waiting of EDG's 2v2, while for TT, it is the most aggressive, or at least one of the most aggressive lanes you can get right now, Jamada.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not the most aggressive, it's definitely going to be top 2 or 3. Yep. So a lot of early trading is what I expect from TT's bottom lane into the Snake and Vampire. And we'll see exactly what lane pairing they decide to go for EDG. For now, though, TT was it mid lane, or do you want jungle? Beichuan or Ucal? Those are the priorities there. Talia, I guess, technically does fall under the flex book, but this would almost always certainly be Ucal's pick more times than there's ever Beichuan's. Beichuan, typically, you'll see him on the bruisers. Very, very rare that he'll go out on something as audacious as a Talia jungle. As some very fun picks were hovered throughout EDG, but they are just going to give us the Maokai. Of course, Maokai's port, very, very strong on 14-4.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't see it last series. I can't recall if it was even banned, to be honest with you. I just don't think it was prioritized, but this time around, that will be the lock-in and a lot of very easy to play around engage, disengage. And now if Monkey goes towards one of those aggressive picks like the Lee Sin or the Viego, which you would anticipate would be ban targets here for TT, it will be very easy set up onto a mobile bottom lane like the Ashe and the Varus.
I like that he brought up the Lee Sin as well. I mean, Monkey from LDL, I kind of remember the Lee Sin being a hard hitter for him. I think for Monkey in the LPL already, it's aligned with, the Graves, the most players. So support that you noted those carry junglers. As on the other side, the Renekton's being taken away from Hoya, setting up the Talia other part of the side lane, I should say. Lee Sin actually banned by EDG. Maybe Monkey has a different idea.
They want Graves then.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Even though Graves can do fine into Lee Sin, it's just one of those matchups where if you've got the ban, you would much rather throw it out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe they just don't want Beichuan on it, but I think they're looking to go Graves here on 4. And it's just one of those archers where you would anticipate Beichuan would very likely lead on it. So let's just wait and see, as Xin Zhao is also locked away. Nocturne. I mean, honestly, I would prefer it over the Graves. It would be very much in the Monkey's wheelhouse to look for those aggressive plays. And of course, you've got the Orianna Nocturne combo into 3 champions who have no dashes. So I see that as a massive win for EDG. It's going to be a very, very difficult combo to deal with once level 6 comes online. And I think more than anything, Jake, right now, EDG, their composition, it's so easy to execute. And when you're a team struggling like them, in a position like this, it's what you want, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like as well, you know, especially when with all these moving parts in EDG, I feel like the start of Split, they didn't even know what they wanted. So, again, kind of hoping to see the best from, as you stated, a simple style of composition from EDG. On the other side for TT, let's just talk about resets and get the pace going, because there's a lot of burst now built up on TT with the Viego locked in for Beichuan. The Aatrox adds another element of that, I guess, concave around the enemy team. A lot of angles now to play from for TT as we add another lockdown.
Yeah, exactly right. Double reset champions there for TT. It's all about the pick tools. It's the Chains of Corruption, the Ash Arrow, the follow-up from Ucal on a pushback. And we're going to see our second Camille of the night. Wow.
It's Arla's Camille as well, dude.
And it's, exactly. It's Arla's Camille. Not only do we get treated to a YSKM game, we get treated to an Arla game on end. It's a very old school one-to-one counter matchup where you will find a lot of success, but things have changed, right? The removal of Divine Sunderer. I don't think I've seen the matchup since Divine Sunderer has been out of the game, so I am very, very curious to see how exactly it will function inside of the lane, but from a team comp point of view, it's all about that dive, right? Ori, Nocturne, Camille, they're looking to execute these squishy champions. A lot of focus from TT has to be on trying to break up plays before objectives are actually started up, right? Find the picks first, work on numbers advantages, and then look for the resets if you try to snowball over a fight. Otherwise, if it's a 5 versus 5 flat out, you have to favor EDG here with how easy it is to get that Orianna ball into the backline.
But I do want to see how early game plays out, because for EDG and TT, I mean, this is just a weird. Like, we're coming in today, and you know, as everyone sitting at home understands by now, probably have to throw in those maybe words that you know, us coming in as guests, like we're flashing back. Man, EDG only won Worlds recently in 2021.
Recently.
You know, the fact that this team's struggling and could be on their deathbed here, past the halfway point in the split, you're kind of thinking, it's not the EDG I know and love. And again, it's all the changes here. We want to see something at least solid coming towards the end of the split against a team like TT, who haven't been too far above them. But, you know, for TT as well, their parts are working more often than EDG so far.
Exactly. Jaio's ring for EDG. TT. EDG definitely. I would say with the favor, Jake.
You'd have to think. If TT's fan base suddenly became bigger than EDG, I mean, that would be crazy. Dude, this is like the TSM of our region. It's been here since 2013.
Exactly. Even though they're struggling, they'll still always have the support of their fans. And I think at the very least, if this first draft is anything to go by, they may have a lot to cheer for in the next 30 minutes or so. TT and Beichuan are looking for, at worst, information, at best an invade. The double range advantage does make this a very difficult approach for EDG. Double hail of blades between the bottom laners. It's just a lot of upfront burst you would rather avoid. Now, what I'm really curious about is what Monkey's response is going to be. Because he's on Raptors. He knows the invade is going on. Vampire and Snake. What are they waiting for here? Because they don't win the 2v2. I'll tell you that much. And actually, yeah, this is awkward. If Vampire and Snake walk up, then qiuqiu and 1xn just walk out of the bush, run them down. Monkey, oh, I mean, the problem is, cute from Monkey.
No smite. Hang on. Monkey does have smite, though. Okay,
oh, wow.
Does come through, and now the 1v1, the flash away. I mean, that's the advantage. Monkey wins.
Very, very cute there from Monkey. Even throws up the question mark. But it is kind of curious. I mean, at the end of the day, Ucal should have seen that little bit of Nocturne Q on the back end. Monkey used to get a little bit of movement speed off of. But very, very smart reaction from Monkey. Knows the ward is where it was as well. Dodges that. Seems like the comms weren't quite there, that he would be moving into the bottom side. Wins the smite, blows Beichuan's flash. Now Beichuan may be a little bit behind on tempo. Though, oh. Okay, so Monkey missed the Raptor. So he's still level 2. Shouldn't be the end of the world. Just going to find Ucal here. Just immediately get the flash. I mean, that's one of those flashes where you just don't want to take the damage, but the reality of the situation is Ucal's looking for a reset relatively soon.
Yep.
Either way, good trade here for Arla, as we would expect out of him on a Camille into Aatrox matchup. This one he's probably practiced 1,000 times.
I mean, he plays both so well. They're both his, I think he's OGs as well. Talking about that a lot today, it feels, as Monkey now comes to top side, only level 3. How big's the wave here as it crashes in?
Big enough. Big,
it seems. Enough. Well, Hoya flashes away immediately, tries to outplay in the 1v2, but he's dunked down. How easy is that? EDG with the dive and first blood, while bottom side is a 1-for-1. Trade out of absolutely nowhere, and Vampire has helped suck the blood for another kill down bot side.
Yeah, okay, Vampire gets the 1-for-1, and actually when you take a look at this, the Snake is not the one who's farming, right? It's actually Vampire, but you can't dive the Maokai. You get Snake, though, as a consolation prize. A cross-map fought was going on the top side of the map. Vampire's CS will not be harmed too much as replay of the bottom side dive. Is it just very, very easy? It seems like the answer is yes. Actually, they tried to go onto Vampire at first, but Snake just a little bit too tanky and flash out a bit awkward on the back end from 1xn as he still drops.
But still, I mean, look, the Snake denied a little bit of CS, or at least some experience in that bot side as well. As we take stock, it's a support, or let's call it the tank carrying Vampire that picked up the kill. But I'm looking on the other side, Halo Blades, Ash with this early on of damage. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, as we get the first item Ash, the trading in lane is so impressive. And with the virus as well, still going to favor TT's bot side, despite what happened. Especially what happened.
Exactly, man. It's just, it's so obnoxious. You can barely walk up to the wave, and this was gonna slow push in to TT, but I think now they've just about caused it to be a bounce back in. Vampire's got teleport though, so he's not gonna miss much if they hard crash. Still a very, very rough lane to be a part of. As Ala, very cute trades again.
Yeah, it's very cute in the top lane, isn't it? Wait, what was it? Where else was cute? You're saying something
cute.
Ah, yeah.
It was
Monkey was
Monkey's
cute. Monkey's pathing was cute. Yeah. A lot of cuteness in this game for you, Jamada. What else is cute? This dragon?
Dragon's pretty cute. Yeah, I mean, look, there's good solid vision setup. You know, EDG. I mean, they probably know it's going on, but it's one of those things where you're not going to know for certain until you get the call out as grabs are secured. And that should ring the bell that likelihood is with no priority. And that will be the next point of call. There you go. And Monkey, as he knows the dragon is being cross-mapped, will look for camps on the top side.
But will he lose any in the bottom? I mean, Raptor's being set up. I'm just watching here in the minimap. None available, actually, apart from Krugs. While TT's bottom lane continues getting this push in. And, I mean, again, we've been watching this a little bit over and over. As we said, it's very abrasive, very oppressive. Just giving that freedom for Beichuan as well. Maybe to start peeking into enemy jungle on the spot side as well, Jamada, because Scuttle's up, whole camps spawning up as well. And Arla just trying to get a bit of vision and spot out. Well, hang on a minute. Is Nocturne nearby? Or does he just go for a play? Maybe it's a play onto Ucal. Hextech ultimate him into Shockwave. That was easy. And it's over in an instant.
3 words. Hysterics. How can play?
Oh, okay.
If you are Ucal.
That too.
How can play? Very, very hard to get out of that kind of situation. And Arla, he's been winning out on so many tricks. Oh. I mean, I guess we just hate 125 gold. The observers also acknowledge that.
Yep.
With the zoom in. But hey, at the end of the day, Fisher just playing it safe. Wants the tempo over the gold. I can respect that. As speaking of plates and gold, qiuqiu and 1xN are very close to stripping away the third one in less than 7 minutes. The Q not gonna snipe that blue buff, so Beichuan will secure it.
He's 6 off that as well, by the way. Monkey's not. So no paranoia. I mean, he can't get into the game yet. Monkey's whole role,
and
as we know, Nocturne's
Beichuan's acknowledged that too. The smite's available here for Monkey. Maybe that gets him 6. Nope. Maybe Monkey. Still very far behind.
Dies. No, never mind. Waiting for the Heartbreaker to come out, but Beichuan flashes to make it so. Weaver's wall as well. Monkey doesn't have flash. qiuqiu picks up the kill. And for TT, the bottom side a little bit more open with 4 members now crawling down here.
This is problematic. Vampire, Snake, can you hold the wave and clear it? 1xN doesn't have mana.
Or level 6,
it's gonna crash enough.
So Vampire, as he flashes away, the Snake is just deleted under turret. The roots, not enough either. Another plate in the mix as well. And for TT, just keep targeting bot. It keeps working.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really hard for Vampire and the Snake to reasonably lane against double Hail of Blades, against Ashe as well, being one of those users. And yeah, Beichuan at first was recalling. He was like, yeah, I've got my lead. I can go and reset. Recognizes, however, with Ucal in his back pocket and a level 6 advantage over Monkey, because he'd just seen him, that he just hits really hard. qiuqiu manages to snipe out the actual kill credit. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the bigger prize is sitting underneath the tower. Both of them chunked half HP. 1xN does a good job crashing in the wave and chunking them out, and Vampire's the one that escapes. Snake, again, a victim of the dive.
And again, I mean, EDG's bottom side, like, I think this is something that's been said earlier in the split. I think it's something we've all observed. EDG's bottom side hasn't been the most solid. You know, bringing Leave in, obviously Vampire, a new addition as well, coming up from LPL. There's a lot to talk about, and even in the top side as well, we might find that out. Arla's trades are good, but for Hoya, he's still got his strange bat wings that he can pull out and fly up. Ender of Worlds? No. I said it even... World Ender.
You said it, you just said them
I just said the more posh version, yeah.
Yeah. Ender of Worlds.
Ender of Worlds. But old advantage topside is, I guess, the whole point of that play, because for Hoya, as TP is about to come back up, it's also going to line up with Dragon spawning in minute 15. Grubs as well for 10 seconds in if he wants to TP and hold topside, or if he wants to walk it out and maybe TP to the bot and set up for the second Dragon of the game.
Yeah, I mean, level 6 is available on Vampire, so there's a very easy way to find for Snake.
Arrow cleansed away, flashes from the hand of death as well, and for Beichuan, getting that summoner out on the bot side all but secures. bot to be theirs even more so.
Yeah, exactly. Beichuan did smite that. And it's on cooldown. I guess Dragon is actually still a very long ways away. Never mind. They're okay. Just the way they're posturing. Sometimes you see a team posture around a particular area on the map and like, yeah, this objective's coming up really soon. And then you look in the timer and it's still like a minute away. Be the end of the world here. But some of the spells off the center make her a very, very vulnerable target to a Chains of Corruption. Or very specifically also to a Talia wall. See if they can focus on that, as TT's focus has been down on the bottom lane time and time again. EDG, I think really they need to lean in to the fact that they've got this Orianna Nocturne combo very soon. Or just the counter matchup in top, right? Just dump resources into Arla. Get some more gold going. He's got the Triforce. And if you can secure grubs, though it seems like TT are actually more focused on not allowing EDG to secure all 6 as the rotation's coming through for qiuqiu.
Looks like it.
You could maybe start to play out a side lane scenario where Arla is the one that really starts to put pressure down onto TT.
TT have already started these off though, and as Monkey hovers around the corner, it's all about that vision line. Not on qiuqiu until he flips over as one grub gets taken away. That's a start, but EDG, they're walking into maybe their demise. Now it comes out, the paranoia is the response with Command Protect. But yeah, I mean, Monkey can't find anyone. There's no Shockwave follow-up. Vampire now on the bottom side is for some reason by himself versus 1xN. He's going to try and 1v1 this himself with Nature's Grasp available. I mean, that's going down top side.
Exactly.
What's the problem?
1xN, however, did not have mana, so he could not finish that. If Vampire actually found the space to advance, he would probably get some of the spells, oddly enough. But just acknowledges he's on the weaker side of the map. And now, at what feels like my request, they are going to give resources over to Arla, and they're going to look for a dive onto Hoya.
Well, it's 1 versus 3. Hoya's ulti is up and available. We talked about the Ender of Worlds, but as he flashes forward, it's dodged out from Monkey, not giving it an inch or a mile. As bot side, the dive does work out. Beichuan survives as well. It's going to be turret for turret push here. And remember, EDG are the ones with more grubs in hand. But look at bot. Cameraman is eventually going to go top side, hopefully to see what's happening.
It's a race, but we just... There's
maybe
a really big advantage for TT.
There you go.
In terms of time.
Closer.
But, I mean, look at that. When you really think about it, I know there's obviously also a difference in champions here to a point. But that tower on the top side was at 5 plates. Or 4 plates, sorry. Not to oversell this. And that bottom side tower is at 2. And EDG are what? 5.5, 6 seconds behind on tempo?
True.
Grubs, man. They can, you know, that's one of those tangible moments where you can actually see the effects.
They do something, yeah.
Exactly. Actually, it's a little bit more chunked because they were hitting the tower as they walked up to kill vampires. So, feels really, really good for EDG to be able to cross-map some of that gold back and, of course, start to get Arla into that position where he's going to be able to set up 4 Fisher, 4 Monkey. And even though Vampire and the Snake have suffered a lot, they will be able to aid and assist that dive. TT, they're going to have to be on their toes very consistently. Flash timers are going to be very, very important for 1xN, Ucal, and qiuqiu specifically.
And on that note as well, I mean, it's going to be important because we know that Paranoia is going to have a big effect on this team. I think for Monkey, we saw the first Paranoia fall flat, but importantly enough, it's the first couple of Paranoias that really make or break the game. Hey, like, be a Nocturne with map presence and picks like this as a question mark, then maybe you can change the game. Chains of Corruption, though, the flash away attempt as qiuqiu is the target. Look at 1xN in the meantime, though, as they get him finally from range. EDG have taken brunt damage, but no one else is here from TT. His Shockwave gets 1xN. The damage is great from Fisher. There might be a solo kill on the horizon. Command Protect ain't there to whip back in time. As Arla is, though, from downtown. Where did he come from? He flashes out. He gets out in the nick of time with the Hextech ultimatum as Hoya now in the world ender. But as TT try as they might at the end, it feels like EDG got all they came for.
Yeah, exactly. They found the pick they wanted. It's going to turn into Herald. And I think more crucially than that, they get the summoner spells of 1xN and qiuqiu, so that's a very easy repeat play. Smite will come down. No shenanigans. Is there a fight on the back end, though? Monkey's flashless.
Hoya has no ult. Monkey, as you said, no flash, nothing in hand. Beichuan also gets a reset from this as well, as the Snake has no mana. I mean, EDG, they won the fight. They got the Herald, but they're going to lose quite a lot for being here. And with another kill over to Beichuan, remember, that was a shutdown all of a sudden that gets given to that Viego jungle.
Yeah, it's only 150 gold, but still additional gold at the end of the day is additional gold. And Beichuan is continuing to be the benefactor of a lot of these plays now. 203 Kraken Slayer will likely get very, very close to a second item with 100 CS, and that gold just picked up free boots as well. As in the extended, they even get a tower out of this. Fisher,
there's no cleanse here. He's seismic shove. I mean, it's a burst, isn't it? There's the shockwave, but it ain't in time. Ucal picks up that kill. I mean, this is just picks from TT that are launching them.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very nice to recoup some of the gold lost off this play, and especially, you know, think about the future gold potentially taken away as picture-in-picture, actually.
Yeah,
we're going to go to that amount of scuffling going on, but that was the replay of how they find that. Fisher here actually cancels an auto, and I do wonder if it's what costs him the kill. Could be, and also, not only that, the shockwave drags him out of the comet. So, a lot of misfortune there for Fisher, as Ala, you say, where did he come from in the pool? TT are wondering where he went off the back end so quickly. Hoya does force the flash out of Fisher, which is nice. But yeah, a lot blown on both sides. And really where you're going to see the repercussions of that will be this next dragon in 40 seconds time.
True. And
decisions made around whether or not TT.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, T1 just played. That's okay. Lost their series 2-0.
Oh, spoiler.
TT. Spoiler. Sorry, guys.
What are you doing?
TT. I know. TT. With so few summoner spells, specifically on the bottom side, I wonder if they're actually going to be confident to step up into so much potential burst out of Monkey and out of Fisher. Herald dropped in the mid lane, so they want to try and make TT make a decision here. Remember, of course, the Herald can also be driven by someone to secure this crash.
TT are waiting for this. I mean, the thing is, Herald hasn't been touched. Now runs into a minion wave. EDG scared to step up. Shockwave draws it in, but Ucal goes invulnerable as the Chains of Corruption follow through. Nature's Grasp as well. Fisher gets launched backwards by Ucal. And, okay, if you're going to call the bluff, TT will just take it. What are EDG doing with the Herald?
Yeah, it's a head scratcher. It's a big, big head scratcher because, again, someone could have just clicked on the Herald, driven it into the tier 1, and then, you know, that forces you to be able to walk up and get a decent position. The Dragon's going to reset here, though, now. It's still a 4v5. Fisher's no teleport. That's a knockback, Jake.
Ucal again, bro. That's like the third or fourth time here in this game that Ucal has found, or at least helped with the pick. Now Dragon on the menu. Third one for TT. The Weaver's Wall follows through as well. And for Monkey, Paranoia, a clock does not come. The clock gets reset. And for TT, now they move to Soul Point. And just a better state of this game, it feels like, that they've been managing to bring back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, TT, credit to them for, you know, finding the responses, but you really have to start asking questions of EDG ahead of anything else. Great stasis out of Ucal to avoid the shockwave damage, and Fisher, no summoner from the mid lane skirmish from earlier. He gets pulled in very easily. Pretty damn good pick, because I was about to say, they got Baron, but of course the Herald takedown gives them that reset. The faster empowered one. Either way, TT now stand one dragon away from Cloud Soul, and that's honestly not the biggest deal in the world, but it's a little bit of extra self-pill potentially for 1xN qiuqiu, but very specifically for Beichuan and Hoya. Once those resets start going, or rather it gets them into positions for the resets, they are going to be running for sure.
Man, I mean, again, for TT, it's that early game diligence through bot side, through the pressure of that Ashe and Varus lane that everyone hates. Really, for the past couple of patches with its 2v2 power, TT have managed to take this into a controlled game state. And even though the gold's not that much for EDG, as they walk through River trying to threaten the spawn of Baron, it is the big potential like this. Chains of Corruption as well, but they've used a lot. Hang on for TT. Had they overcommitted? Shockwave, yes, because Monkey, now as he paranoias, he survives. There's no dragon here. Baron's up in 35. The timer extends. Beichuan will be alive for it, but still for EDG, that should give setup.
Exactly, and that's really what it's about. If this was Baron timer, that Baron is being started up immediately. But you can see there the promise of what this composition can do. Obviously, it's just onto Beichuan, and Beichuan's kind of overextended, to say the least. Yeah. Starts, however, with this pick on or attempted pick rather, onto Monkey. And yeah, Beichuan, even if he gets the form, you know, like even if he gets the reset, just kind of sees red there, and fortunately,
what then?
Costs him his life. Exactly. You know, when you make a play, you always have to think of the what's next, guys.
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments where foresight was perhaps overlooked.
True. Look, for Beichuan, I mean, again, this is the kind of jungler who he's, you know, one of the best Lee Sins, or at least when he is in his prime. For Beichuan, was a carrying force for years on FPX. Like when they needed fill-in junglers. I'm just sorry, old man memories coming back to me.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. But he was the FPX Karthus player who, when they were going between junglers, I think it was between Bo and I'm gonna pretend like my brain knows exactly who the replacement jungler is. Let's be real. Beichuan was a saving grace. So a lot of respect for this guy's been built up for the years. Sort of dropped my little tidbits considering that for TT. He's the one who's going to be in charge of this game. And alongside Ucal, let's be fair, there's been good setup for him. So as Fisher and Arla try to play side lane with Hoya just hovering off here, we'll keep an eye on TT's mid jungle, who have been setting up for these picks that feel like are giving TT agency and have been setting up for neutrals as well.
Yeah, I love this, but how many ultimates will you blow? The answer is all three, Jake. Bye-bye, Hoya.
Arrow comes in the meantime. TP, wait, there's a response here. Beichuan has flash. There's the Heartbreaker on top of Monkey.
No.
They used a lot, but for Beichuan, he's gone in so early. Jamada, he doesn't have a friend in there. And EDG just stack up, ulti or no ulti.
Yeah, and EDG kill off the tower before the teleport comes through. Honestly, I think if Ucal completes that teleport, he's just another victim to the plate. And
is he just?
Now that I think, did Ucal doesn't have flash.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anyway, EDG, they're gonna try and turn this into a Baron because not only did they get Hoya, they found Beichuan, so it's still at best a 4 versus 5. There's no ultimate still though on the EDG top side. Frankly, not sure how much it's gonna matter. Let's see.
Weaver's wall though, the shove. Okay, TT open up again with another big pick. Hoya flashes in and his angle's huge. Baron's getting low, but he's just dunking. They're looking for the Baron, but they'll take that too. TT have found everything they need with an arrow flying through. Arla's lucky to be alive, but man, Hoya wreaks havoc, and EDG so focused on the Baron, they forgot who was coming from behind as Hoya once again onto the snake, forces the flash, and this is their game to take from now.
That has to be one of the most cataclysmic Baron turnarounds I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Monkey gets caught up in the burst. He dies and then everything. Oh no. Alright, Arla, what's he looking for here? Because he's now between Beichuan, who he could definitely kill by himself, but
yeah,
with qiuqiu and 1xN around the corner, it's not as easy as that. TT, are they just going to give up this soul? It looks like the answer for now is yes, because at the end of the day, they got the Baron, so why even worry about giving up one dragon 5 minutes a time when you can use this Baron efficiently and probably lock down the next spawn. So soul's denied from EDG's point of view, but
yeah,
man oh man, what a mess of a Baron takedown. Now TT all grouped as 5 in the mid lane looking for another pick. Vampire, he's hit.
Okay, in response there's the shockwave with the paranoia on top, but Monkey still dies. Beichuan refuses to die, resets a second time as Hoya flies through. This Aatrox no longer needed. EDG have lost 2. It looks so clean for the setup for TT. What is it, Jamada?
I mean, it's EDG errors, right? Don't get me wrong. Again, I can only credit TT for punishing every single time here, but
yeah.
My oh my, has it been very messy on EDG's part, to say the least. TT get their remaining tier 2 structures. That's gonna feel good. Another injection of cash. Arla's gonna try and push in this top side here, but he's already gonna be matched by Hoya, so there's not gonna be an answer in tier 2s. As the Ash arrow flies wide. And you know, I know we need a replay of it, naturally, but it just feels horrible. Let's just, yeah. Vampire gets blown up. Multiple people rooted in the backside here.
Oh my god.
And it's just, oh. He can't get the smite off on the final frame. It's taken by Varus and empowered Q, I think. It's just a nightmare. It's just a complete disaster. A catastrophe. I can't find any more words.
Do you feel for Arlo here? Like, I feel like Arlo's not had a bad game, you know? Like,
No, he's not. He's not at all. But, you know, what can I eloquently even say about Arla's performance in comparison to the rest of his team?
Yeah.
I have a few things in mind. I just don't think I can say them on broadcast.
Yeah, right. Let's keep it PG. You just got back, you know?
Yeah, you know, it would suck to be here returning for a day just to immediately never return again. But hey, it's a top laner's worst nightmare. You know, 502.
Yeah.
Tried to find pressure with your team, doesn't work. Now TT, they're up here on the top side, looking for the tier 3 with the inhibitor.
I mean, easy to take when the Weaver's wall's committed. Chains Corruption off the back end as well. And an arrow on top. Even the poke might be too much. It is. It sets up for a reset for Beichuan. As for Monkey, he gets outranged once again. Has to run away with Paranoia between his legs, as you see in the bottom side. Arla is trying to make this game competitive with an inhibitor on the margin. But you see that TT are moving in without stopping. The Nature's Grasp now flies 3 members with good roots from EDG to buy time. But the next wave coming in, Arla is committing to this bot side push, and for TT as they roll on in, I still think they had the damage. They've got enough of a grub as well, and Nexus turret taken down and pulling away. Arla has backed, and so therefore EDG a bit more threatening as we push and pull with, I guess, threatening stares.
All right, inhibitor down as Hoya stares at his destroyed inhibitor. I mean, at the end of the day, from the POV of EDG, that's an uptrade, you know? You're losing the game as heavy-handedly as you have begun to. Getting an inhib here on the bottom side as well when Baron spawns in a minute's time.
Yep.
Okay, I see the vision. Jake, are you ready? Hold my hand.
Are you like vision? Yeah, I'm trying. A vision like you're a psychic, or
yes,
vision is
like,
in wards?
Perfect. We're at a table with a crystal ball.
Yep.
Okay.
What is it?
And it's kind of like Doctor Strange, looking at all of the possibilities of how EDG can win this game.
Okay.
TT are going to forget, well, they're actually pushing out this bottom wave super far, but just, you know, bear with me. Forget your belief for a second. As Arrow,
I'll try.
now I can't. This skits lasted too long, it's fine, alright. They forget about the super wave in the bottom lane. Arla.
And then what?
Fisher TP.
Okay.
Maybe not.
And that TP, being respected, I think. They shockwave onto him. Hoya flashes away, though. Nature's Grass, the angle's good. But the thing is, for EDG, they haven't hard committed yet, and that's 2 ultis down. It's 3 if you count Fishes as well. Hoya gets low, but he still gets out. A flash respected by Arlo, who goes in quite deep at this point. The Weaver's Wall cuts him off, though. It's re-engaged there for Beichuan, too. Might set up a reset. It does, and on the Camille as well. A hook shot, wall shot. More engaged. Beichuan with the final breath will find another kill. So will the support die. In EDG, their bot lane eviscerated, at least by that dead tree, who gives TT something to fight for again.
Exactly, very close fight, 3 for 2. You wouldn't think it, considering how the most recent skirmishes and fights have gone, but really well earned by EDG. And the problem is, it's really just everyone resets and then looks at the objectives on the map. Both junglers are dead. Cloud Soul available for TT on the map right now, but again, issue stands. No jungler available. Let's see how it all kicks off, because it's an attempt on Fisher at first. And the rotation here from the rest of EDG. They pull the trigger with the Paranoia and almost Shockwave combo. It takes a couple of seconds to come through once the teleport's there. They look on Hoya. Hoya flashes it, so he's not bursted out. But then what is he clipped by in the end? Ucal from downtown. So that gives Fisher, or rather Arla, a potential window to look for an assassination. Flash away from 1xn. qiuqiu, however, still gets basically one shot off the back of it. So come out of that replay now, because we have to. Dragon's being taken here by EDG, and TT, they don't care. They're actually going to try and angle towards this Baron, it seems like.
Why not?
Force EDG into a bad position. There's no teleport on Arla, so even if the super wave stacks up, there's no threat of a backdoor.
I mean, as you said, bad decision for EDG, because they have to walk into this trap. The vision is lined for TT, so they know the angle, the time, the place, and EDG, as they walk through, they at least pull TT off the Baron for now. Considering it's not a fast take as well.
This is good for EDG. TT, they've got to make a decision about this bottom wave. That's slowly going to start to stack up. Another super is on its way, and this is a decision to pick onto Vampire.
Arrow. Shock does work. The range is okay, and dunk down. Beichuan is going to get a reset. Okay. Now it's a 5 versus 4 with 40 seconds on Vampire. TT can now try this one again.
Yeah, they should be able to. Recess coming out from Fisher. I mean, he has teleport. Maybe he's got an item completion. Then they look to contest 4 versus 5, but Monkey's farming. Arla's here. There's vision. Steal. No.
Not there. Beichuan finds him. Monkey now flashes over the wall, and he'll get out, but Baron is once again secured by TT. It's still looking good. It's still looking superb. Does EDG hold them back, try and delay Jamada, but I think we have to be real with this Baron play. This should be the nail if TT play it right.
Exactly. If they can find a window, find a fight. There's no structures outside the base anymore. The inhib on the top side of the map is open. A lot of options for TT to close this one out. Picking themselves up 1-0 in the series. EDG, the game, frankly, was in the palm of their hands.
True.
They have thrown a golden opportunity away, and now TT stand on the cusp of closing out this game.
Well, it feels like it's probably going to be around this Baron push, as we're saying. Maybe the lead into Dragon as well. Just to note that TT is still sitting on top point. They've, again, kind of leveraged both those Dragons for something else on the map. You start to feel that next one is going to be the take, considering how they don't want EDG to get to Soul Point themselves. They finally make this push up the bottom side, and you can see that with this wave coming in, also, top seems like it is slowly pushing out, with Hoya just hovering mid and responding to a wave himself that Arla was attending to earlier on.
A small window, teleport coming from Hoya. Fight, it's good!
It's a 2-man as well. I mean, that's a shutdown. 1xN is dead. Big damage sources. Vampire gets to the backside. qiuqiu's there. He's the next target, but he's deep without his team. But Beichuan is able to reset if he can just get it. But man, it's getting a little bit frisky. Beichuan, though, is carrying the fight, doing Viego things. Now on an Orianna, taking yet another one. Going into GA. Beichuan. It's his fight to lose. Another reset. A triple kill going over to this Viego. 1v1ing with Arla.
He has to take
GA
it
down. Oh, man, crowded. He can't find it. Arla makes it an ace as everybody's dead but him.
A great presence of mind from Beichuan on the back end of the fight, because he knows if he takes the center form, he's going to be squishier to deal with Arla, but he just couldn't quite find the window to do it. Arla wins out on the 1v1, the only man left alive on the map. And a last chance effort for EDG to find a good fight, right? It's, again, this Orianna Nocturne combo. It finds the squishy members. Arla's there to immediately capitalize as well. And then look at Vampire in the backline. I know Hoya's obviously buying a lot of time and dishing out a lot of damage, but Vampire squeaks out finding that kill. Then he locks down Ucal as well to be aggressed upon by the rest of EDG, but all the while, the turnaround damage from Beichuan, and I think Ucal, once he came out of that stasis, huge. And then the 1v1 here between Beichuan and Arla. Again, Beichuan, I think, just kind of acknowledges if he takes the center form, it's going to be potentially less damage, very squishy. But then he just doesn't quite find the window. He notices then on the very last cusp of it, he needs to try and take it. But he couldn't quite get in the vessel in the end.
I mean, God, I've seen many a Viego team fight of like a 1v5 after everything goes wrong. I think the most recent one for me was Razork on Rogue. I don't know how many years ago that was. I don't know how long ago that was in a game 5 or something like that.
I think it was last year. It was a playoffs game, and it was like, it was top lane, right? Is the top lane pentakill you're talking about, where he just...
Nah. Oh yeah. Was he in Rogue last year? Was it last year? Or was it the year before?
I'm pretty sure it was... No, oh God, it might have even been the year before, actually. You're right.
You are an old man.
Yeah. Gosh,
I don't remember, man. That was a while ago, but look, sticking within the LPL, I mean, for Beichuan, carry junglers. Lee Sin has been one of his best. Need I remind you, level 18, excuse me, need to look a little bit closer. 16 on the Viego still. Level 3 on the ulti, right? It's a big difference considering we're setting up for Dragon. And for TT, this is Soul Point in the making, as EDG wanted to deny.
Yeah, Arla was spotted out by a vision plant there, so that flank angle is gone. EDG, can they get this third Dragon? Great wall from Ucal. Monkey's alone in that pit.
He is, but Nature's Grass keeps him from getting near. Again, the Paranoia puts out the lights in the backline with the Shockwave as well. It's a two-man. The arrow slows the play down. EDG getting burnt, but they need a reset as Beichuan will find it. Now that he's the Nocturne is on the backline, qiuqiu getting aggressed by Ala. It's Beichuan again that I need to watch. The dunk down from Hoya, big as well, as Beichuan goes into Jiejie. Okay, EDG have been given some time, but that might not matter. Vampire was way too low, and he'll die in the end as well. As for EDG, I can't tell. I mean, Dragon's still up.
Yeah.
Who won that fight, Jamada?
TT likely. Fisher and Ala have teleports, and they're going to try and pull the trigger. This Dragon, I think he gets bursted down, but if they can find the kills, it still feels good. Well,
no, they don't. Soul's given over to TT. Now it's the escape plan. EDG still trying to chase up, but Ala won't pull the trigger. Jamada, Soul, just like that after a quick reset.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, after 15 minutes of searching for the Soul, they do get it. Of course, gave up those previous Dragons for greener pastures, shall we say. But EDG, finally it feels like, second or third time really that we've seen a proactive use of this combination. That actually nets them almost here. Great stasis. Beg your pardon, from the Barrison. Ucal is able to be bursted out eventually. But again, it's all about Beichuan, right? The issue is EDG, they're pumping all of this damage into TT collectively, but not really into Beichuan until the very end.
True.
Just feels like they have to kind of search for him. The issue is, he's pretty damn tanky. He doesn't have GA anymore, right? And that's a pretty big deal, to say the least. Yep. So if EDG can pull the trigger on him, I think they have a far higher chance than if they eliminate 1xN or even Ucal from a team fight.
True. While they are good pick tools, and while some of their ultis have been fantastic, Beichuan gets a reset, and you see that EDG really fear for that damage. It's a 5k gold lead, by the way, as Baron stares us in the face. No Elder for 4.5 minutes, so topside right now is the pure focus. And just getting that push and move. TT using mid to then sweep out Baron. While EDG try for a topside approach here, Jamada. But speaking of approach, an arrow that finds out Hoya instantly charges forward. And you're right, Ala no longer of this world. What a pick.
Yeah, I mean, qiuqiu time and time again. A lot of the picks have been in the mid game onto Vampire, but finally he finds the MVP for EDG. And with that Camille off the map, I mean, Jake, plain and simple, TT just have so much more freedom than EDG.
True.
It's last chance to loot.
Weaver's wall. We've got a Paranoia. Monkey flashes away. Snake and Vampire isolated, but okay, the Paranoia taken. You got the center ult as well, but for EDG, I don't know if you should have gone back in there. Vampire's flung back. A quick cleanse from Snake at the backside as this support also dies. EDG left with 2 standing. I mean, Jamada, EDG is a flash change of corruption from 1xN. He was feeling it. Why not? The TT off the back of those picks are also going to open up bot just as easy as that.
Yeah, the only reason why this game isn't ending right now is because TT didn't have a usable wave once that mid lane inhib actually died. Yeah. But they'll still claim 2 out of 3. And this can be very easily a reset into play for Baron. Wait for your moment. And then pull the trigger. And speaking of waiting for your moment and pulling the trigger, qiuqiu again. Ala. Not sure if he has that hook shot and available. You can buffer out, but even if you get hit by the stun, right? But even reasonably, because of where he is, where can he actually go? I don't think he can get very far.
Yep.
In this case, it does drop. Only the second time in this 40-minute game.
But man, isn't Ala just doing exactly what we've seen? From the games I've seen in the season, Ala has been, you know, pretty sick. Like, even though EDG at bottom of the standings, I think for Ala, he's had, I guess, more decent games that we've seen of other members of EDG. But again, you know, set up to carry. This guy almost actually is. He's flame horizoning over on Hoya. So again, another reason why Ala is to be feared as an individual player, but also with picks like this that are comforts through the dawn of time of him starting in the LPL. There's some picks that you got to respect, especially since more top laners are experimenting with answers into some of the more these rudimentary picks.
Exactly. Now, EDG, despite being on such a lopsided front, they can still win this game. It's just gonna require a pretty damn big shockwave coming out from Fischer.
Yeah.
And for Arla to have backline access. It's happened a couple of times. And TT started up this Baron. Arla's in the base, clearing out those supers. Baron's being burned. There's a teleport. Let's go.
Okay, though, it stops the TP, as you mentioned. There's Monkey in once again. The arrow cleansed away from 1xN, buys time, but he's not in a good spot as Arla flies through as well. The backline access given over. Arla finds the trade and gets out with his life ball. In the meantime, Hoya tries to do the same thing, but he's only on by a nick of health. He'll find his mark too, but Beichuan's dead. No reset. City is the snake. Is front lining for the time being with Baron as double TP. Wait, they're going for the end. TT are just like, forget this fight. EDG are all here. Teleport going to be matched, and he's just the only one to fly through, but the next turrets are now down. Blade Baron on 1 versus 2. And TT pull the bluff, pull the big frame play, and out macro EDG for a game 1 win.
I know, you could say out macro, but that's gotta be one of the most frustrating ways to lose the game, because mentally you've got to be just, we're going to find the fight, just for it to be a teleport. And either way, EDG back foot for so long, right? It was still always going to be an uphill battle. Very well earned by TT, right? The couple of very big fumbles from EDG, and TT very happily capitalized. Again, one of the most catastrophic Baron attempts I think I've seen out of a team. That first Baron of the game, which resulted in TT having this lead to begin with.
I mean, again, like star plays from people like Beichuan. I think, you know, on the Viego, again, we talked it up quite a lot. And it was like some of Hoya's early Aatrox plays were sick. I think Ucal, the setup there was fantastic, you know? Like, seeing Ucal and Beichuan work together felt, you know, kind of right. Felt very right, very nice.
I agree, Jake. And I think with that, we're going to head over to a break. And we will see you guys in a couple of minutes for game number 2 of this series, where we'll see whether or not TT can close out in a 2-0 or if EDG can come back.